Hello and welcome. You're watching Raj Sabha TV. This is Breakfast News. Let's have a look at the headlines so far. Congress seeks apology from Prime Minister over comments against Manmohan Singh. Rahul Gandhi says Prime Minister demeans his position and hurts dignity of Parliament. Last day of campaigning for Phase 1 of Uttar Pradesh elections. 73 seats spread across 15 districts to vote on Feb 11th. Tamil Nadu governor to reach Chennai today as VK Sasikala tries to keep her supporters together. AIADMK MPs likely to meet the president seeking her early swearing in. Lower House of British Parliament approves Brexit bill, allows Theresa May government to begin UK's departure from the European Union. And Bangladesh played a first test on Indian soil after being granted test team status. The one-off test begins in Hyderabad. It's the last day of first part of the budget session today. The session began on January 31st with President's address to the joint sitting of the Parliament. It was followed by a union budget that was presented on February 1st. It was for the first time that general budget and rail budgets were merged and presented as one. It was also for the first time that session was advanced by a month. The session began on a sad note when sitting Lok Sabha MP E. Ahmed suffered a stroke during the joint sitting of Parliament on the first day and died later in the hospital. The budget presentation went on as per schedule and Lok Sabha did not sit on February 2nd to condole his death. Motion of thanks to the President's address was moved in both the House of Parliament, during which government counted its achievements while the opposition target mainly over the issue of demonetization and surgical strikes. The Prime Minister replied to motion in both the Houses of Parliament. The payment of wages bill was passed by both the Houses during the session. The specified banknote cessation of liabilities bill was passed by Lok Sabha. It's slated for consideration and return today in Rajya Sabha. Both Houses go into a month-long recess on 10th due to ongoing assembly elections. The second part of budget session will begin on March 9th. The motion of thanks on President's address was adopted by the upper house on Wednesday. Prime Minister Modi replied to the debate and defended decision of demonetization. However, the opposition parties, including the Congress, SP, JDU and left parties, walked out of the house.
भ्रष्टाचार और काले धन के खिलाफ लड़ाई ये कोई राजनीतिक लड़ाई नहीं है, किसी राजनीतिक दल को परेशान करने के लिए लड़ाई नहीं है और ऐसा सोचने का कारण भी नहीं है और इसलिए किसी ने इस विवाद को अपने साथ जोड़ने का कोई कारण नहीं बनता है.
Replying to the discussion on the motion of thanks on the President's address, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said the fight against corruption is not a fight against any one political party. He also defended the autonomy of the RBI, saying the government does not interfere with its working.
मुझ पे हमला हो, हमारी पार्टी पे हमला हो, सरकार पे हमला हो, बहुत स्वाभाविक है, वो चलता रहेगा अपना. लेकिन रिजर्व बैंक को घसीटने का कोई कारण नहीं, रिजर्व बैंक के गवर्नर को घसीटने का कोई कारण नहीं. हमने ऐसी इंस्टीट्यूशंस की मान मर्यादाओं का पालन करने में हम लोगों का योगदान होना चाहिए. और इसके पहले गवर्नर थे तब भी कुछ लोगों ने आवाज उठाई थी, मैंने उसका भी विरोध किया था कि शोभा नहीं देता. ऐसी चीजों को विवादों से परे रखना चाहिए. बाकी सरकार की व्यवस्थाएं हैं वो चलती रहेगी, उसको हमने करना चाहिए.
The Prime Minister also took a dig at his predecessor Dr. Manmohan Singh, leading to a strong objection from the Congress party, which later walked out in protest.
इस देश में शायद ही कोई ऐसा अर्थ जगत का व्यक्ति होगा जिसने हिंदुस्तान के 70 साल की आजादी में आधा समय एक ही व्यक्ति का इतना दबदबा रहा हो और कितने घोटालों की बातें आई. लेकिन खास करके हम राजनेताओं ने डॉक्टर साहब से बहुत कुछ सीखने जैसा है. इतना सारा हुआ, उन पर एक दाग नहीं लगा.
Earlier, the Congress party criticized the government on the issue of demonetization.
हम भी चाहते हैं कि काला धन को खत्म करो, भ्रष्टाचार को खत्म करो, काउंटरफिट करेंसी खत्म करो, टेरर फंडिंग खत्म करो। पर ये तीनों बातें गलत निकली, तीनों बातें। पहले 86% पैसा 15 लाख करोड़ जो भारत के किसान का था, मजदूर का था, कर्मचारी का था, गृहिणी का था, रेड़ी खोमचे वाले का था, छोटे दुकानदार का था, हिंदुस्तान की जनता के पैसे को आपने काले धन के खिलाफ लड़ाई कहकर पूरे देश की जनता को कलंकित किया। क्या भारत का अर्थतंत्र काले धन पर चलता था?
Finance Minister Arun Jaitley, who intervened in the debate, also defended the government.
सन 2016 वो ऐतिहासिक वर्ष था जिसमें मॉरिशस, साइप्रस और सिंगापुर इन तीनों एग्रीमेंट्स को रीराइट किया गया। तो इसलिए सरकार ने एक के बाद एक जो कदम उठाया था वो उस काले धन को रोकने के लिए उठाया। और डिमोनेटाइजेशन के कई कारण हो सकते हैं, लेकिन आप एक इस व्यवस्था को समझ लीजिए आनंद जी कि कैश की अधिकतर इकोनॉमी होना यह बहुत गुण नहीं है किसी देश के लिए। इट्स नो क्रेडिट टू एनी इकोनॉमी दैट यू प्रेडोमिनेंटली डील इन कैश बिकॉज कैश हैज अ लॉट ऑफ वाइसेस।
The discussion on motion of thanks for President's address was started by Law Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad. Vishal Daya's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
Now, Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi has hit out at Prime Minister Narendra Modi for his raincoat jibe at former Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh. Calling the comments shameful, Rahul said, when a PM reduces himself to ridiculing his predecessor, he hurts the dignity of the parliament and the nation. Rahul's remark came after Modi described Manmohan Singh as the only person who knows the art of bathing in a raincoat. The comment was in reference to former Prime Minister's clean image, even when his party was embroiled in major scams.
उनको ये नहीं मालूम कि क्या वाक्य इस्तेमाल करना चाहिए, किस सोच के साथ बात कहनी चाहिए, क्या कहना चाहिए, वो क्या नहीं कहना चाहिए। ये समझते हैं कि वो पाक हैं और हम सब ब्लैक मार्केटर हैं। मैं समझता हूं कि हम ये सहन नहीं कर सकते और जब तक प्रधानमंत्री जी माफी नहीं मांगेंगे हम उनको इस सदन में बोलने नहीं देंगे।
I have never seen a Prime Minister going to such a low level. The reply to a President's address, Dr. Manmohan Singh had nothing to do with it. To drag his name, to use a very low level of allegation.
Anger is different, but we are all feeling sad that such a comment has been made by the Honorable Prime Minister.
Now, Tamil Nadu governor is scheduled to reach Chennai today at a time when the political climate in the state is charged. Also, AIADMK MPs are likely to meet President to submit a memorandum to him seeking early swearing in of VK Sasikala as Chief Minister. The man who raised the banner of revolt in the AIADMK, O. Paneerselvam, has written to banks asking them not to allow any transaction in party accounts without his consent. Here's a detailed report.
In the backdrop of the unfolding political drama in Tamil Nadu, AIADMK MPs arriving in Delhi on the last day of the first part of the budget session. Leaders owing allegiance to Party General Secretary VK Sasikala expected to meet President Pranab Mukherjee and submit a memorandum seeking an early swearing-in ceremony.
They are having already majority. Only you want to represent the Rashtrapati.
Okay, but Mr. Paneerselvam also saying that I also have a majority. I will prove. So how they are going to?
I already resigned.
Okay.
What is the use of speaking about him? Already resigned accepted by the governor.
Okay.
Then what he will prove?
Sasikala putting up a display of strength by keeping her flock together. 131 of the party's 134 legislators attending the meeting at the AIADMK headquarters in Chennai. They were then herded in buses to undisclosed locations.
All the MLAs of AIADMK party are behind Honorable Chinnamma. Chinnamma's leadership has been accepted by each and every rank and file of the party. No, that is always he is to make false claims, false statements against the truth.
The Paneerselvam camp dismissing the show of strength, saying it has to be proved on the floor of the House.
This number 134 or 132 will not be decided in the studios or in the roads. It has to be decided in the floor of the assembly.
As per a PTI report, after keeping away from Chennai for 3 days, Governor Vidyasagar Rao, who is also the governor of Maharashtra, will be reaching the city today. Further cracking the whip on the rebel camp, VK Sasikala sacked the party's Information Technology Wing Secretary from primary membership.
Right now I've been removed from the party position and because I was showing support to Honorable O. Paneerselvam. I would like to work continuously and show my commitment and dedication in the path Amma has shown, and I will extend my support to O. Paneerselvam.
Paneerselvam, who was removed from the post of AIADMK treasurer, has written to banks to not allow any transactions in party accounts without his consent.
It is very rightful, and it would have been the will of even our Amma to have him as a minister, not anybody else.
Paneerselvam has also dismissed allegations of him being a DMK puppet. Political parties, including the DMK, too have denied having any hand in his resurgence.
In public, he has said that he was forced to resign. And when Chief Minister himself is in that position, you can just imagine what is the condition of the common man in Tamil Nadu. For the past few months, the government machinery is not at all working.
So the current Chief Minister, Mr. OPS, should be given an opportunity to speak, to seek the support of the MLAs. The MLAs represent the citizens of Tamil Nadu. The MLAs have to be given an opportunity to speak and exercise their mandate on the floor of the House. What Ms. Sasikala or her cronies have done to threaten OPS and to intimidate him into resigning is against democratic principles.
The governor is studying the situation constitutionally, legally, and he will take an appropriate decision, and centre has no role to play in this.
Allow Sasikala to take oath as the CM. As per the constitution, as per the democratic principles, as per the assembly, parliamentary system and all. So he is not coming here. Why he has gone to Delhi, I don't know. Then from there, why he went to Bombay? Why he is not coming here? Why they are delaying it?
The state has plunged into a political crisis after Paneerselvam, in an unexpected move, alleged that he was forced to resign from the Chief Minister's post. VK Sasikala has rubbished that allegation. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And in the eye of political storm, AIADMK General Secretary Sasikala has said she is ready to face any probe over the death of former Tamil Nadu Chief Minister J. Jayalalitha. Speaking to a private news channel, she said that she hopes the state governor will uphold the constitution and invite her to take oath as Tamil Nadu Chief Minister. She also called Paneerselvam a traitor and alleged that his act was betrayal to Amma and claimed that his actions in the assembly were suspicious. She also said she was pained at politicization of Amma's death. Let's go to some election news in Verdict 2017. Now, today is the last day of campaigning for the first phase of elections in Uttar Pradesh, scheduled for February 11th. 932 candidates are contesting for 73 seats spread across 15 districts of Western UP, including Muslim-dominated constituencies of Muzaffarnagar, Shamli, Mathura, Meerut and Agra. There will be 6 more phases to elect candidates for 403 assembly seats, counting for which will begin on March 11th. A number of rallies are lined up for the last day of campaigning in UP. After days of speculation over Manmohan Singh Yadav's campaigning schedule, the Samajwadi Party patriarch will finally start canvassing for his brother Shivpal Yadav, who is contesting elections for Jaswant Nagar seat in Etawah district. Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Akhilesh Yadav will also campaign today in Firozabad. Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi will address a rally in Aligarh district, and Home Minister Rajnath Singh will address 4 public rallies in Mathura, Hathras, Noida and Bagpat. Water Resources Minister Uma Bharti will also campaign in Agra, Mainpuri and Farrukhabad. Chief Election Commissioner Naseem Zaidi and his team were in Lucknow to review poll preparations for the 3rd and 4th phase of assembly elections in UP. During the 2-day visit, Zaidi will meet administrative officers of enforcement agencies. The commission will also meet representatives of political parties to seek their feedback on the election preparedness. 69 constituencies will vote in the 3rd phase on 19th Feb, and elections for 53 seats will take place on 23rd February. Now we'll look at some other election-related developments in Election Wrap. Campaigning for February 15th elections in Uttarakhand is in full swing. State Chief Minister Harish Rawat, Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi, BJP President Amit Shah and BSP Chief Mayawati will be addressing public rallies in various districts today. Nominations will begin today for the 7th and final phase of elections in Uttar Pradesh, scheduled for March 8th. Nomination will also begin for the 2nd and final phase of elections in Manipur, also scheduled for March 8th. Today is also last day of withdrawal of candidature for 4th phase of UP Assembly polls. With neighbouring Uttar Pradesh going for poll on the first phase on Saturday, dry days will be observed in Delhi from today until Feb 11th in 100 meters radius of the border points. The first phase of elections will be held in neighbouring Ghaziabad and Noida districts on February 11th. Police in UP's Khoja district have arrested RLD candidate Manoj Kumar Gautam for allegedly murdering his brother and his friend to garner sympathy votes during upcoming state elections. The victims, Vinod Kumar and Sachin, found dead on Monday hours after they had left election rally in Khurja. Repolling in 48 polling stations in Punjab's Majidha, Muktasar, Sangrur, Moga and Sardulgarh assembly constituencies is taking place today. Repolling was ordered after voters verified audit paper trail. EVMs malfunctioned on February 4th. Off to some international news now. In a major boost for British Prime Minister Theresa May, country's lower house of parliament approved the Brexit bill to let government begin the UK's departure from the European Union. The legislation now moves on to the House of Lords. With the passage of the bill, government remains on course to trigger formal Brexit talks by the end of March.
The question is that the bill be read a third time. The question is that the bill be read. As many of that opinion say aye. Aye. The contrary, no.
Division, clear the lobbies.
Discussion and voting in Britain's lower house of parliament over a bill to allow Prime Minister Theresa May's government to officially begin the Brexit process. After an intense 7-hour debate, lawmakers voted 494 to 122 in favour of the legislation, which was passed without amendment and on schedule. Now it will be put before the upper house, House of Lords, for a final decision later this month.
The ayes to the right, 494. The noes to the left, 122. The ayes have it. The ayes have it.
The vote came up in Parliament after the country's Supreme Court recently ruled that in order to begin the EU withdrawal, May must seek the approval of Parliament. And now the passage of the bill marks a significant step towards starting what is expected to be a complex and difficult 2-year negotiation with the EU on issues such as trade, immigration and security. David Davis, Brexit Secretary, called the vote historic. He added, "It is now time for everyone, whichever way they voted in the referendum, to unite to make a success of the important task at hand for our country." Theresa May has vowed to trigger Article 50 of the Lisbon Treaty, the legal mechanism to begin the EU withdrawal, by the end of March. And if the bill has a smooth passage in Britain's upper house of parliament, like it did in the lower house, May will be on course to meet the deadline. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
China has defended its decision to block US proposal in United Nations for designating Pathankot attack mastermind and Jaish-e-Mohammed chief Masood Azhar as a global terrorist. China, while justifying its decision, said the conditions have not yet been met for Beijing to back the move. Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Lu Qiang said China has put the request on technical hold to allow the relevant parties more time to consult with each other. This is also in line with the rules of the relevant resolutions of the Security Council and the rules of the discussion of the committee. To a question whether it will have an impact on China-India relations, he said Beijing and New Delhi have exchanged views on the issue and that China hopes it will not have a negative impact on our relationships. He also ruled out that China was blocking the move at the behest of Pakistan. China has put on hold on the US-initiated proposal, which comes barely weeks after India's bid to get Azhar banned by United Nations was scuttled by Beijing last December. India has said that those who fail to accept that Pakistan has been encouraging militancy on Indian soil will not only be forced to accept it, but will also face the consequences.
सारा विश्व इस बात को स्वीकार करने लगा है कि भारत की धरती पर और विशेषकर जम्मू कश्मीर में जितना भी आतंकवाद की गतिविधियां होती हैं उसके पीछे पाकिस्तान का हाथ भी है, समर्थन भी है, प्रोत्साहन भी है। और धीरे धीरे भारत के दृष्टिकोण को सारा विश्व स्वीकार करने लगा है। जो देश अभी भी इसको स्वीकार करने में असफल हैं, असमर्थ हैं या इनकार करते हैं, भले ही वो पाकिस्तान स्वयं हो, भले ही वो चीन हो, उन्हें भी देर सवेर न केवल इसे स्वीकार करना पड़ेगा, विवश होना पड़ेगा स्वीकार करने के लिए, बल्कि इसका हर्जाना भी भरना पड़ेगा।
Now, Donald Trump's nominee for the Supreme Court has described the president's attack on judiciary as demoralizing and disheartening. The move comes after President Trump called a judge who halted his controversial travel ban a so-called judge and said any terror attack on U.S. soil would be his fault. According to BBC, Neil Gorsuch criticized Trump in a private meeting with Senator Richard Blumenthal on Wednesday. The statement potentially leaves Gorsuch open to criticism from Trump, but helps in his effort to woo Senate Democrats who have pushed for federal appellate judge to distance himself from the man who nominated him to the top court. The ban on arrival from 7 mainly Muslim countries are facing a legal test. Russia's main opposition leader Alexei Navalny has been found guilty of embezzlement and handed a 5-year suspended sentence. The judgment bars Navalny from running for president's election next year against Vladimir Putin. The conviction comes in a retrial after European Court of Human Rights ruled the first trial to be unfair. Navalny has been convicted of embezzling timber worth $500,000 from Kirov's Strait Timber Company while he worked as advisor to Kirov's governor, Nikita Belik. However, Navalny said the case is politically motivated. He further added that he will continue his fight for a free Russia.
План всегда тот же самый обычный – бороться за свободную Россию. Другого плана у нас нет, вне зависимости от суда.
On to some sports news now. Virat Kohli won the toss and elected to bat first against Bangladesh in runoff test at Hyderabad today. Bangladesh bowlers make it tough for the Indian batsmen Vijay and Pujara with some excellent bowling. Tuscan stuck for Bangladesh leading India's first blow. Murli Vijay and KL Rahul are playing at present. For Bangladesh, this is a historic moment as they will be playing a first test match on Indian soil for the first time ever since they got test status 17 years ago.
There are about 15 innings where he's failed.
That's it for now. Keep watching Rajya Sabha TV for more.